What's up my friends? Welcome back to the Plush studio. We'll see if that sticks. Somebody brought it up on a live stream. I'm pretty sure it was Plush studio. If you didn't get it, it's a blend between studio and closet. Or closet and studio. Plush studio. You know, if I have to explain it, it loses something. Anyway, today's video is my full review of the Nike Pegasus 37. Now, it was quite a while ago that I did my initial review. That was when I first opened the box and went for my first run. I will link to it right up here. And now some time has passed. In fact, I actually forgot about making a full review about this shoe. Now I have run at least 200 miles in it, and that's what we're talking about today. My full review of the Nike Pegasus 37 after 200 miles. My name is Matt, and on this channel we talk about all things running. If you like running, then this channel is for you. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you get anything from it. If you haven't already subscribed, now would be a great time to do so, and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. Let's go for a run in the Nike Pegasus 37, and then we're going to talk about it. Alright guys, that was a soaker. Alright, hold on. Hey, okay? You okay? You still running? Alright, let's put it back in exactly the same spot and just hope for a different outcome. Still taking my shoes off. This run brings the mileage in this shoe to 214 miles, which is a pretty good distance for a full review. Usually it's 100 miles. I forgot to do it. Either way, this is going to be a little better, a little more in-depth. It's going to give you a better idea of how these shoes hold up over time. But first, today's run. 12.5 miles or about 20.12 kilometers, an average pace of 8.24 a mile, which is about 5.13 a kilometer. The first 7.3 miles I did run with Harmony, and then I went out for another 5.2 on my own, running my FML loop, which is 5 mile loop, not the other acronym for FML. During those 5 miles I did go out, I did pick it up. I probably ran about 10 minutes at marathon pace, which for me is in the high 6s, breaking it up into minute segments. So I do a minute here, then I'd slow down another minute and maybe run for 2 minutes. So I did get to test it running very easy and then picking it up to a kind of a medium hard, comfortably hard effort pace. The weather today is, it's a soaker, another soaker. Do you ever get bored of hearing me talk about how wet it is? Okay, the humidity is 90%, temperature 77 degrees Fahrenheit or 25 degrees Celsius. As soon as I'm done talking to you out here, we're gonna go inside. I'm gonna throw this on the scale. I did weigh it before my run and now I'm gonna weigh it after, and we'll see how much sweat this bad boy actually soaked up. Let's go over the stats of this shoe very briefly. We do have a 10mm drop. We have 18mm in the forefoot, 28mm in the heel. The Nike Pegasus 37, they have replaced a few things from the Pegasus 36. We do have React foam running all the way down. Before that, we had Cushlon foam. React foam is just lighter, more responsive. Definitely the right move for Nike. In the 36s, we did have a full-length zoom unit, which is that little plastic pillow airbag that they put inside. That's, you know, Nike Air. They have changed that. Now it's only in the forefoot. It's about that big, and it's right there in the forefoot, so when you're running, it just gives you that little bit of cush. It's just cushioning, right? It's just cushioning, and it's a little more responsive when you toe off. The fly wire, remember on the last one, they used to have the fly wire and the laces would go in them. I don't know, they replaced it with these. This seems a lot more solid, a lot more secure, a lot more lockdown. The upper is just a engineered mesh. It's kind of like a dual layer. So there is this pink, there's pink underneath the gray, which looks pretty sharp. It feels very well made. There is enough cushioning around the heel collar. This kind of hits the sweet spot. The tongue is Nike's typical very thin tongue. It's gusseted, it's attached to the sides. Of course it is. No one wants a tongue sliding down to the side anymore. The heel counter, not totally rigid. You're gonna see a lot of people on YouTube talking smack about this shoe. If you're out there looking for a shoe that will stand the test of time, if you are out there and you're not the type of person that has a rotation of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shoes, if you want one shoe to do everything, this is an option for you. It's got beautiful flexibility. It can stand up from picking up the pace. Now, when I say I was running at the marathon pace, which is in the high 6s, you could run faster. This shoe is responsive at higher speed. I would argue that you could do everything from racing in it all the way through to running a marathon. Now, I have run plenty of marathons in the Pegasus line over the years, and I've raced plenty of 5Ks because a long time ago, the Pegasus was all I wore. Is it an ideal 5K shoe through to the marathon? No, of course not. You can always find something lighter, something that is less of a shoe. In fact, Nike itself has plenty of options for the 5K all the way through to the marathon. But do you want to spend that kind of money? If you do, then great. If you don't, and maybe one shoe or something that you can just get out there and churn out the miles and pick up the pace when you want to and run long when you want to, then the Nike Pegasus may be a good option. Let's just talk about price for a second, because at $120, at 120 bucks, this is a good deal. The price hits the sweet spot, and I would say that for 120 bucks, this is worth every single penny. I've seen a lot of people talk about the heel slip. So when you're running, your heel kind of rubs. And now you can eliminate that by using this little hole here and doing the runner's lacing or the runner's lockdown method, which will lock the heel down. I don't particularly like that lacing method because it puts too much pressure across the top of my foot. But I just want to tell you guys, now we go on YouTube to find everyone's opinion. Here's my opinion. I have no heel slip in this shoe. Take that for what it's worth. You're going to see some runners that are talking about heel slip. I haven't experienced any heel slip. All right, guys, listen, I've been rattling on. We're going to go back inside. I'm going to put this on the scale. We're going to talk about the outsole, the kind of wear that I'm seeing after 214 miles. And yeah, let me go get cleaned up. We'll see you inside. Okay, before I go inside and stuff my shoes with newspaper, I want to show you guys something pretty disgusting. Okay, so that's my warning. That's my warning right now. What you are going to see is me squeezing out some sweat that I have put into these shoes throughout my run. So let's move one out of the way. This is so disgusting, but I have to show you. So here is the insole, pretty thin. You wouldn't think that would actually have too much liquid in there. Ready? I wish that you could see how much this is. It just doesn't look that much on the camera, but soaked through. Anyway, back to the office. Guys, I'm sorry I had to share that with you, but you know, it's for your own growth. You have to see how much weight that this shoe can hold. Now, I did come inside and weigh this immediately after my run before I went outside and got rid of all the excess sweat. So I do have an accurate weight post-run. Now, Nike says that this shoe in men's size 9, UK size 8 comes in at 9.6 ounces. That's not too bad. I wear a men's size 13, UK size 12. That comes in at 11.7 ounces or 333 grams. After the run, this thing put on a little bit of weight. After my run, it now weighs 15.6 ounces or 443 grams. Wow, my friends, that's an increase of 3.9 ounces or 110 grams. Or, are you ready? That's 33%. A 33% increase after my run. And I only ran for an hour and 45 minutes. The upper is very comfortable. Now, it's an engineered mesh. A lot of people have said it kind of feels like a racing fit, which makes you think that it's pretty snug. But I hate using the word snug because snug could also mean tight. It is not tight. It is very comfortable. My feet fit in here beautifully. Now, I have had trouble in the past with other shoes where my little toe kind of rubs here. It doesn't happen on this shoe. It just kind of holds onto your foot very well, whether you're going slow or when you pick up the pace. The outsole. This is a big deal. The outsole is a big deal after 214 miles because it gives us a great indication of how long this shoe is going to last for. This is fantastic. Now you can see some wear. You can see a little wear around here, but it is very minimal. How about on the heel? Now I tend to heel strike just a little bit, but that is barely any wear at all, which tells me I am running more on my forefoot in this shoe than some of the other shoes that I've worn. When you do run a little faster, you kind of get up on your toes a little easier, and the toe off is just beautiful. When you land midfoot here, the toe off is just very smooth, very comfortable. It almost comes into its own when you pick up the pace a little more. I'm gonna make the prediction, this is a minimum of a 400-mile shoe. Now, if you're the type of person that likes to run in your shoes for a lot longer, dare I say you're gonna get 600 miles out of this shoe? Now, of course, you've got to worry about the midsole. Midsole's going to break down. You're not going to have the same cushioning level as you would when they're new. But as far as the outsole goes, you're not going to be throwing this shoe out after a couple hundred miles. Nike, it seems like you could have saved a little bit of weight if we just cut off the rubber. You know how the Zoom Fly and the Alpha Fly, they just have the rubber on the forefoot and then a little bit on the heel. There is a trade-off with resiliency and weight. When you just have the rubber on the forefoot and the heel, it may not last as long. There is a lot more rubber on here which is protecting the midsole, which makes it so it lasts longer. In my opinion, it is a worthy trade-off. This shoe does not come in super heavy, and all that rubber is going to make sure it lasts for a long time. Friends, YouTube is full of people telling you their opinions. Now, as we've got to the end of the video and very few people are left at this point, I can tell you that I think my opinion counts for a little more than others. And it is my opinion that this shoe is worth every penny of $120. It's going to last a long time. And most importantly, for a $120 daily trainer, this shoe is fun. You can run easy in it. You can stack up the miles, and when you have to pick up the pace, you can do that. My friends, thanks for staying all the way to the end of the video. If you got any value from this, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, consider doing that right now. Be kind, be happy, run well, and I'll see you next time.